Welcome to the Prepped and Polished podcast, the podcast that empowers you to take control of your education. Featuring weekly interviews with influencers in the world of education, as well as tutoring tips, lessons, and updates. And now, here's your host, Alexis Avila.
Hi everyone, this is Alexis Avila, and welcome to another tutoring tips episode of the Prepped and Polished podcast. Be sure to check us out. Our website is preppedandpolished.com for more info. And while you're there, you can sign up for our free tutoring and test preps newsletter. It comes out monthly. And make sure you join our community on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Prepped and Polished 1. You can submit a question during the show or after to radio@preppedandpolished.com. We love hearing from you. Let's get right down to it. Today we're talking about 5 grammar pet peeves to avoid. So you definitely want to avoid these common grammar mistakes. Number 1 of 5. You don't want to confuse there, and there. So there, T-H-E-R-E, is used for places. There, T-H-E-I-R, shows plural possession. And there, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, is a contraction for they are. So don't mess that one up. Number 2 out of 5 grammar pet peeves to avoid is use who and whom correctly. So you use who when the individual is the subject of the sentence. You use whom when the individual is the object of the sentence. Pet peeve number 3 to avoid grammar pet peeves is watch your I's and me's. So use I only if you're the subject of the sentence. Use me only if you're the object of a sentence. Pet peeve 4, avoid common word mix-ups. So for example, affect, A-F-F-E-C-T, is a verb meaning to have an influence, but effect, E-F-F-E-C-T, is a noun meaning anything brought about by a cause. And don't confuse lie and lay. So lie, L-I-E, means to recline or rest, but lay, L-A-Y, means to put something down on a surface, usually an object. And don't confuse its and it is. Don't confuse its and its. So IT apostrophe S, its, is a contraction for it is, but its, ITS, without the apostrophe, is a possessive pronoun showing belonging. And the last one I have for you for grammar pet peeves to avoid is don't use the passive voice. So in the active voice, subjects of the sentence perform the action expressed in the verb. In the passive voice, this is reversed and the subject is acted upon, and active is always better than passive. So those are my 5 grammar pet peeves to avoid. This wraps up our show. Number 93, 5 grammar pet peeves to avoid. Keep your channel on and be on the lookout for our next podcast episode, number 94, with Elizabeth Dankowski on how a perfect SAT score could backfire on you. Remember to access all of our podcast episodes. Go to preppedandpolished.com/podcast. Thanks for joining us on the Prepped and Polished podcast. Now go out there and take control of your education.
You've been listening to the Prepped and Polished podcast. For more information, check out preppedandpolished.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening. Class dismissed.